Hey guys, it's Ernest. I won't be here for a while, but before I leave, here's a fun list for Nintendo fans. Out of almost 2,000 games in its first couple of years, here's an updated list of the top 25 Nintendo Switch games, all arranged by PlayScore. The PlayScore is an average of gamer and critic ratings. Opening for this list at number 25 is Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Starting this list with a Wii U original might not sound too good for the Switch, but it does say a lot about Toad's awesome adventures. Made available at a more consumer-friendly console, Treasure Tracker, a worthy title in itself, is opened up to a brand new audience. Upgrading the Wii U experience, Switch offers co-op treasure hunts, better controls, and plenty more minigames for the Super Mario fan. Become Toad or Toadette and gear up to explore up to 4 brand new courses. An improved title in visuals, features, and content, it gets a play score of 8.39. It's ports galore at number 24 with Cave Story Plus. Another excellent port for the Switch comes in the form of the certified indie-produced platformer. Coming a long way since the one-man team Daisuke Amaya's 2004 self-published release, Cave Story Plus remasters the compelling title. Featuring upgraded graphics, music, and levels, the Mimiga adventure has since collected its own share of hearts on the console. Again, with the added co-op, the retro platformer gets an additional shimmer, with a play score of 8.39. Thinking tactical at number 23 is WarGroove. From the publishers behind the adorable indie farming simulator Stardew Valley, Chucklefish comes out of their picturesque farms and into the world of turn-based tactics. Not quite the relaxing stroll that their previous hit was, WarGroove reintroduces the turn-based genre using their signature retro pixels and mesmerizing soundtracks. Not an original premise, but it's the cream of the crop in Switch strategies with an easy local multiplayer to boot. It has a play score of 8.39. It's a crossover at number 22 with Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. One of the most anticipated games for the new portable console, this collaboration of video game greats rolls out the red carpet for both their superstar casts. Uniting Ubisoft's wacky rabbits and Nintendo's party-pooped icons, they get down to XCOM-like business with an unexpected depth that's worthy of a AAA polish. Funny and engaging, it's a fresh start for newbies to the turn-based strategy and a treat for Mario fans and Rabbids fans alike. It has a play score of 8.39. It's time to build at number 21 with Dragon Quest Builders. Despite the release of their exciting new sequel, the debut title for this Sony original remains the go-to for a dose of Dragon Quest/Minecraft crossover. Highlighting the twofold joys of RPG and building, Dragon Quest is as charming as ever, and especially so with the addition of new townspeople and objectives. Boasting a deep crafting system that goes hand in hand with Dragon Quest's compelling storytelling, it gets a play score of 8.4. Painting beyond wood blocks at number 20 is OKAMI HD. A gem from the PlayStation 2 days, the sweet brushstrokes of Amaterasu find their way to modern consoles, and it delivers on a big way. A play on Japan's traditional art styles and mythologies, Okami is a colorful puzzle game that challenges you to rebuild the land of the rising sun with nothing but a magical paintbrush. This HD remaster may not have much new features to offer, but seeing the classic world with new eyes is well worth the investment. A Zen game bursting with colors, it has a play score of 8.41. It's all wonders at number 19 with Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, the spiritual successor to Lizard Cube's Wonder Boy series. With its entrance to the Switch, Monster Boy also makes a switch from motion-based animation to a friendlier hand-drawn art style that draws a wider appeal. Revamping a classic, their foundations are proving strong, impressing critics and gamers with only a few neat additions. Packed with stages of varying levels of difficulty and a world filled with intriguing secrets, it's a haven of discovery with a play score of 8.41. Finding Elysium at number 18 is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. This sequel to the Nintendo Wii original came as a surprise to fans of the Xeno franchise, but it looks like they delivered an experience worthy of the series. While it ramped up the RPG excitement with a brand new character in search of Elysium, Xenoblade Chronicles isn't all perfect. Receiving criticism for its awful menus and character development, they all made up for it with their vast content and complex battle systems. It gets a play score of 8.44. 17's an inking game with Splatoon 2. 2 years after their award-winning debut on the Wii U, the Inklings have come back to bring color-splatting madness to the new Nintendo console. Step into a renewed Inkopolis along with a roster of fashion-forward squids. Jumping to the hybrid console, the Inklings get a taste for colorful chaos with new weapons and new ways to play. The mad push for turf territory gets more intense with dual wielding, dodge rolls, and so much more. A fresh Splatoon experience, it receives a play score of 8.46. Dragging themselves to the number 16 spot is The Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim. Todd Howard's not done parading this open-world classic to every known console out there, and yes, released almost a decade ago, classic. We're just old, and despite the age, the Skyrim Special Editions look pretty damn good on the Switch. Taking the beloved Dragonborn adventures to the portable stage, it's almost worth the second look. Probably can't hold finger to the depth of Breath of the Wild and Nintendo's more recent open-world titles, Skyrim is still a welcome RPG addition to the lineup. It has a play score of 8.46. Tending their crops at the number 15 spot is Stardew Valley. Chucklefish makes it to the list a second time around with, of course, their retro-inspired RPG. A true testament to the iconic titles of the actually old video game eras, Stardew Valley does justice to their inspirations. Harking back to the simpler Harvest Moon days, it takes back to the farmhouse to fulfill a grandfather's dying wish. Cultivate crops, upgrade your silos, take care of your farm animals, and find the love of your life. Crafted with a relaxing soundtrack and a soothing storyline, get your dose of nostalgia with a play score of 8.47. Instant transitioning to the number 14 spot is Dragon Ball FighterZ. Embrace the beauty behind cel-shaded 2D characters and dominate your enemies' power levels in this Switch version of the insane FighterZ. Choose from a massive roster of your favorite Dragon Ball characters and witness a well-crafted visual and mechanical experience. Surely not the first of its kind, but it's an impressive fighting game for this little yet powerful console. It has a play score of 8.50. The number 13 spot's thunderbolted with Pokémon Let's Go Pikachu. This latest Pokémon game is a welcome treat to the Switch. Before we get a taste of the most anticipated Pokémon Sword and Shield, journey together with a friend around Kanto, and of course, catch 'em all. Though it sounds like a fresh entry, this is an enhanced remake of the Pokémon Red, Blue, and Yellow. You can even use the Pokémon Go app to enjoy its extra features. It has a play score of 8.50. In the number 12 spot, it's a crowd with Octopath Traveler. Square Enix's debut to the Switch comes in the form of a JRPG. The story takes place in a massive fantasy world akin to Square's FF titles. Follow 8 travelers with 8 adventures and 8 roles. With a layered battle system, the game's central focus is its deep and strategic turn-based combat. Even at its downtime, the retro visuals power up the nostalgia of the classic game Square offered. It has a play score of 8.51. It's Endless Nights at number 11 with Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. Shovel Knight is a love letter to the simplicity and the beauty of the pixel era. Yacht Club Games manages to make the throwback style seem fresh and modern still, making their environments as colorful and vibrant as today's games. The Shovel Knight isn't the only one with a story. Treasure Trove is a massive collection of all the major DLCs that have different campaigns. This includes the Plague Knight, Spectre Knight, and the upcoming King Knight that comes as a free update. It has a play score of 8.52. Get bewitched at number 10 with Bayonetta 2, digital version. Everything's possible when you're a Hideki Kamiya character. Before its long-awaited third installment comes out, Switch players can revisit Sega's badass heroine clad in angelic latex armor. Bayonetta's sexiness, personality, and absurd fighting skills are reminiscent to Capcom's Devil May Cry. Although it's a bit similar, Bayonetta has moves of her own. Beat your enemies with the whip of her deadly locks or shoot them with your majestic guns. It receives a play score of 8.63. Climbing to the peak of number 9 is Celeste. Winner of a dozen video game awards for its excellent story, design, and platforming, Celeste is another wonderful example of indie games done right. This 2D indie platformer combines the expertise of Towerfall Ascensions and Skytorn. Together, they tell the story of Madeline's uphill battle towards the top of Celeste Mountain. Its punishing gameplay is a challenge for casual players, but for the thrill seekers, it's a satisfying feat to make it through the climb. It has a play score of 8.63. Keeping it rogue at number 8 is Dead Cells. Motion Twin's indie title packs a mean punch to the uninitiated. This hack and slash is a blend of roguelike and Metroidvania elements. Its intense and deliciously satisfying combat is coupled with a unique death system. Every defeat is a chance to improve the player's skill and fight again and again and again. This interesting gameplay element lets you retrace steps and kill monsters with even more gusto. It has a play score of 8.64. Going bananas at number 7 is Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Despite its unforgiving difficulty, Nintendo's adorable apes enter the Switch as a port. This time, Nintendo's adding new features that make it more fun and casual for first-time players. Travel to DK's icy island and work together with Dixie, Cranky, and Diddy to restore the heat to their tropical banana paradise. It even has a funky game mode that lets you play the surfing simian, Funky, who's armed with extra hearts and a host of unique abilities. It receives a play score of 8.65. Nailed to the number 6 spot is Hollow Knight. A testament of unexpected potential in small indie companies, Hollow Knight is a slick and stylish Metroidvania with Souls-like elements. Set in a universe where sentient bugs and divine creatures own the lands, players control a brave little knight wielding a needle. Fight your way to the deepest part of the Hollow Nest and face challenging bosses. Wield magical powers and seek help from the many friendly creatures in this underground civilization. It has a play score of 8.70. The number 5 spot hits maximum speed with Sonic Mania Plus. Sega's iconic hedgehog rolls around familiar corners in this pixel-perfect and colorful remaster. Packed with new and exciting surprises, Sonic Mania brings new life to the renowned stages with HD graphics and 60 frames per second. Sprinkling new tricks into the classics, rekindle the fire of his loot-filled stages with new bosses and brand new secrets to discover. Stop Dr. Robotnik's antics and use the power of speed with the help of a friend or two. It receives a play score of 8.75. Keeping it wheels at number 4 is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Aside from Smash, Nintendo's longest running and successful multiplayer game gets the Switch treatment. Enjoy this congregation of all your favorite Mario superstars as they go about a high-speed, high-stakes battle. Deluxe is a massive improvement from its original as it allows the player to use 2 items at once. Not to mention its new courses and characters improve the overall content of this party racer. It has a play score of 8.96. It's family-friendly violence at number 3 with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Sticking true to its title, this is the ultimate Smash Bros. Experience. Packed with a huge roster of 74 characters from various franchises plus DLCs, this is the biggest Smash game ever. Rules are simple. Knock your opponent out of the map before he knocks you out. Since its release, it's generated a massive fanbase with a strong and ongoing competitive scene. It has a play score of 8.98. From runes to chickens, they got it all at number 2 with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. An instant masterpiece. The moment it got out, it was immediately deemed by many as Game of the Year. Nintendo's brave and courageous adventurer returns in the most spectacular way possible. Rediscover the secrets of the now destroyed Hyrule Kingdom as the destiny-bound Link attempts to fulfill the prophecy of Calamity Ganon's destruction. Use magical runes to solve the game's myriad of puzzles in the most ingenious ways as the game rewards exploration. Through this day, players are still finding creative techniques and solutions to the game's sprawling world. It has a play score of 9.36. And the best Switch game so far is Super Mario Odyssey. Taking inspiration from the numerous open-world games in this time and age, Odyssey enhances the Super Mario experience with a fun and interactive world. This entry explores a new chapter in Mario's story as it expands his familiar Mushroom Kingdom horizons and takes him into an imaginative world of discovery. Use Mario's sentient hat and roam around the magical lands, collecting shards and stopping Bowser for good. It has a play score of 9.37. And those were the 25 best Switch games so far. But what are your favorite titles? Be sure to tell us all about it in the comments section. And if you love this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to become a certified WhatoPlayer. This has been Ernest, and I hope to see you soon.